today I'm going to be speaking on etiquette. I think we left off with after classroom groups and group and meetings. So next we could talk about the proper etiquette for a great first impression and to stand out in a competitive job market. So one of the things is key is communication. Verbal, what you say and how you say it. Nonverbal, your handshake, your posture, your eye contact, facial expressions, and confidence. And your actions speak loudly when you're going in front of an interviewer or someone who's potentially going to hire you, because they don't want someone who's iffy to work for them. So if I'm coming to you and I'm introducing myself and I'm not making eye contact and not being square with you, you're going to be like, that's a shaky person, they're not confident, and I don't want that to represent my business. Basic social etiquette. Always be punctual. A lot of things you're going to hear me say is repetitive because etiquette is a general thing, but you tweak a few words to make it go along with other things like work, eating, home, social environments. If invited to a function, bring no one unless the invitation states and guests. Don't smoke, chew gum, or tobacco. RSVP, an invitation stands for a French phrase, meaning reply please. In other words, respond to indicate whether you will or will not attend. Don't show up without having responded. If you said yes and you change your plans, let the host know you need to cancel. Don't be a no-show. It's rude. It's all going back to being rude, respectful of other people and stuff like that. Social functions. Avoid hanging out exclusively with your friends. Mingle and make conversation. Make attempts to meet as many people as possible. One of the reasons for that is networking. You never know who down the line you're going to see again and how you may need them or be able to, or get help from them or help them out. The art of small talk is asking questions. If alcohol is served and you are underage, do not drink. If alcohol is served and you are over 21, drink conservatively. That means basically know your limit and don't think your limit is 10 drinks. So have maybe one drink, and still be able to stand, talk without slurring. Don't be sloppy about things. It's not a good look for you. Anyone is not a good look. Cocktail parties are not about the food. Don't hover around the hors d'oeuvres. Nothing else needs to be said about that. If you are legal drinking age, it is best to keep your head clear and don't drink. Wear your name tag on the right chest area. Don't talk while someone else is talking. That's something you're going to just keep hearing this repeated. Just because it's rude. First impressions. It takes 30 seconds for a person meeting you for the first time to form an impression about you, your character, and your abilities. You never get a second chance to make the first impression. You're always on stage. Always be prepared to look and sound your best. Good grooming is essential. Smile and make eye contact. Introductions. In a business arena, the person of lesser importance, regardless of gender, is introduced to the person of greater importance. Employee to CEO. It's just, proper business etiquette. So if I'm the cashier and you are the middle person and there's the owner of the store, manager coming in, and we're at a business function or whatever, or we're just at a meeting, and you wanted to introduce me, you would introduce me, the cashier, to the manager. It's just, proper etiquette for business. When being introduced, always stand up. So if we were going around the room and I said, hey, could you all introduce yourself? You stand up while you're introducing yourself. You look a person in their eye, give firm handshakes, greet them, how do you do, or how do you do, and the person's name if they've told you their name, or if you see it on their name tag. Speak slowly and clearly and smile. Handshakes, standard, expected in greetings, introductions, saying goodbye. Firm handshakes conveys confidence, assurance, interest, and respect. While it doesn't matter who extends the hand first, extending your hand first shows confidence. Treat men and women with equal respect. Look directly at the person and smile.
Well, can I ask you a question? Now, you said we should actually handshake.
Appearance and grooming. It is critical to be clean, neat from head to toe. Piercings and creative hair. Yes, you have a perfect right to be who you are. Just remember, employers have just as much right to say that lip rings are not the image that they are trying to project. You will have to decide if a personal statement is worth more than a job. Of course, there are fields, fashion and music, to name two, where no one would care about an excessive piercings or creative hair. A lot of times when people are going for jobs, they just can't understand why they didn't get the job. If you look like you're going to the club and you're showing up for a job interview looking like you're trying to go to the club, the employer doesn't take you seriously. He just is not going to say, okay, I don't think you were, putting your best foot forward. Come in here. And then even people always have the argument of, this is all I had. Let me give you an example. This is a summer dress, but I businessed it up with a jacket. You would have never known it was a summer dress. You can always make altercations to your outfit to make it appropriate for where you go. So when I leave, if I'm, going wherever I have to go and it's a fun place, I could pull the jacket off, And a lot of times, if you just go to a thrift store or somewhere like that, you can find a little suit coat or a sweater or something to spruce up your outfit. It's a lot about appearance. You have to think, even though a lot of people are strong-headed and this is how I am and this is what I want to wear, you got to understand you're there, if it's for a job interview, you're there to impress someone. You're there to say, I really want this job, I'm serious about it, I want you to hire me, and I really want to be here. Tattoos, body art. If you have it, make sure it won't be visible. Same reason as above. That's fine that you have it, that's what you feel you need to do, but a lot of times it's attention drawing. So if I got a big tattoo of whatever on my face and I'm going for a job interview, even though I might be the best candidate, it's going to draw the attention away from the potential employer. So if I can get some makeup to cover it up, or put my hair down over it, or if I have one on my neck. I remember a friend used to always wear things that covered their neck when they went on interviews, because you can go ahead when you go home and let loose, but there's just a certain way that we have to conduct ourselves when we're out looking for jobs and out in the world, just to make things less conflictual. Clean nails and hands. Polish your nails. If you wear any, it should be conservative. If you wear eyeglasses, make sure the lenses are clean. I mean, it sounds funny, but distractions. If you got a little spot on your glasses and we're really close and we're talking, that can be a distraction to someone. Yeah. Don't overdo cologne or perfume. In fact, no one can be, if in fact none can be a wise decision. You're in an interview and the interviewer is coughing. You don't know the person you're going to interview, so you never know if they have allergies or, they're sensitive to whatever. And there's a one squirt rule that I've heard of before, just one squirt, dab, 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 if you wanted to wear it. Cologne isn't made for bathing and neither is perfume. Even if you're not going for an interview, nobody wants to smell all that when you're going somewhere. If you're in a room, especially a small room like this, and I didn't put half the bottle of perfume on, it's going to offend people. Even though it might smell nice. With the one dab, it doesn't smell nice with 30,000 sprays. It just gets to be offensive, and it's still about respecting someone else's space. Check hair, face, teeth, and clothes before entering a room. Fresh mint is a must. No gum, mints in your mouth. Pressing your clothes. If you do not know how, the dry cleaner will take care of it for you. So, just going on an interview, it's always good, if possible, to get there at least a half an hour early. Go to the bathroom. So if you have any gas, you'll let it out. You're sitting down. You let out any gas, go to the bathroom, check your teeth, take a toothbrush, you check your teeth, wipe your face down. Make sure you look like you're up and aware and ready to go. Check your hair, check the back of your pants, your shoes. Just do a rundown of yourself so you can look as presentable as possible for this employer. Like they said with the teeth, checking all that stuff. They don't go in there smacking your gum. Who wants to hear that? It's just rude. Women, again, conservative jewelry, perfume, and makeup. I guess this would be okay, but to be on the safe side, you don't want to go in there expressing your fashion sense to an employer. You go in as basic as possible, because the focus is the job if you're going for a job. That's basically it. Men facial hairs, policies vary by geography, industry, and organizations. Basic advice, it should be clean, neat, and trim. It depends on the job you're going for, what they're looking like. People always, there was an argument, I talked to somebody about this before, well, should I shave my beard? This is my own personal opinion, and I don't, push on anybody else, but, if you have a beard, go with it. Just make it clean and neat. Shape it up. It shouldn't be, I love these guys, don't duck dynasty up in an interview, because they're going to be like, even though there's nothing wrong with it, they're great guys, it looks, some things are offensive to people.
From Orlando Jr.
Pause. Okay, so what you're talking about is, in the interview, just formal attire. When in doubt, go business formal. Err on the side of being conservative. It depends on the industry. Interview dress is usually business formal. When you go to a job interview, they like to see you in a suit. It shows you're serious. Sandals, flip-flops, all the other things that you would just wear anywhere else. You can go to thrift stores and they always have suits on sale, $1, $5, and just keep that suit there whenever you're ready to go for an interview. Keep it pressed. If you can't press it, save some money, take it to the dry cleaners, whatever. I remember I was taught when I was coming out of business school, there's a rule of, you put your hand down to your side, and your skirt should be longer than your hand coming to the side. And if your hand doesn't reach, longer, I think no more than 2 inches above the knee, just respectfully. And it's just proper dress. And if you don't remember all that, play it safe with a business suit for women, pantsuit. Business formal for men. Wear a suit that is either gray, navy, or charcoal. That goes again to the fashion sense, wearing the red popping suit, orange, fluorescence. That's not really, even though you might think it's a great idea, nobody's there to criticize your thoughts, but in the business world, in corporate America, when you're going out for a job, go looking like you want the job, and that's what the acceptable, this is from research, this is what they feel the acceptable look is for a man to come in their suit, what colors they feel are professional. Clean pressed white shirt, don't forget to tuck it in. Consider taking your shirt to the dry cleaner and having them starch it, and it will stay nice longer. Keep ties conservative, not too wide and touching your belt. Tie a tie neck can show you how to tie it properly. Wear dark over-the-calf socks that match your suit. No athletic socks with your nice suit. Because when you sit down, say if there's not a desk in front of you and they're sitting down across from it and your pants, come up, they can notice that type of thing. And it might be, like, hey. And then if that's, like I said, once again, we all don't have tons of money, and you can go to thrift stores and pick stuff like that up for 25 cents a pair of business socks, dress socks. Black leather belt, black leather shoes that are polished, no boots, do not wear too much jewelry. Business formal for women, dark suit, knee-length hem for the suit skirts. Light blouse, either with or without collar is fine. Polished low, 1 to 2 inch heels, no open toes, slingbacks or stiletto shoes. Hosiery should be flawless, no runs, and conservative in color. I remember a woman who was prepping me for an interview she says, wait till you're about to go into the interview to put your stockings on. So they don't run like, don't leave your house with them on. Just wait till you get there to put them on so they don't, how they snag? Yeah. You're going places, getting on the bus and doing everything else, and they'll snag. So she said, well, wait till you get there to put them on. That's when you're doing the little fresh up, the half an hour before, prepping yourself.
Wow, I know.
Just little pointers. Do not wear too much perfume. 1 spray dabbed around is sufficient. Or not. Just, heavy, double up on deodorant, get heavy on the deodorant. Just as long as usually it's not too strong deodorant, but just double up on deodorant. Jewelry or makeup, not too much. Do not wear tight or revealing clothes. Do not use sexuality to try to get a job. Not a good thing. Business casual attire. This is not synonymous with sloppy. Make sure all clothing is neatly pressed and clean. Also double check clothing for signs of wear. That's what I said, when you go around your stuff, make sure there's no strings hanging out, holes, stuff like that.
I have a question. Is it advisable for men to wear jewelry to work, to an interview?
Well, they're talking about basically the rings, and a lot of men now are doing the earrings and necklaces and stuff like that. And basically when I was doing things and looking things up, I looked at a whole bunch of different things and what is appropriate for men business attire. And a lot of them suggest no jewelry for men at all. If you have earrings, don't wear them. Wedding band, it was acceptable, and a watch. That was the most I've seen. They don't care for men with the necklaces, the earrings, rings all over the fingers, and all that other stuff, facial piercings. It just wasn't appropriate, and it wasn't like I went through a lot of different places, putting it together to get a lot of input. So, business casual for men. Not expected to wear a tie, sports car, okay, but not expected. Stylish, solid colored pants, long sleeve, solid striped shirts with collars, socks that match your pants, matching belt and shoes. Don't wear jeans, sneakers, sandals, t-shirts, baseball caps, pants, and with elastic cuffs. or sweatshirts. Business casual for women. Dress pants or skirt, sweater or blouse. Blazers are also appropriate. Trouser socks or knee-high stockings with pants. Tights or hosiery with skirts. Polished loafers, flats, low heels, or dress boots. Do not wear mini skirts. Tight low-cut socks, sneakers, shorts, long, bright nails, or spiked heels. Communication. Verbal. Develop your vocabulary. A great way to develop and build your vocabulary is reading books. And if you're not a great reader, get a book that's also on CD. Read it along with it, because I still have problems with it because no one's perfect with vocabulary and pronouncing words. And when you see a word that you can't pronounce and you have the CD along with it, it helps you out, And then when people are impressed with good vocabulary, when I'm dropping $100 words on people, they're like, okay, if I'm using them in the right context, they're really impressed with that. Let's see, cut out slang. Last week, the one girl was saying her mother never approved the slang in the house. Slang is usually in a laid-back situation. So if you're at home with your siblings or with your friends, close friends, that's appropriate. But when you're out in the street, slang isn't really something you want to be throwing around out there, because a lot of people don't know everybody's slang. A lot of times, like Ebonics, it's a whole nother language that a lot of people don't understand. I could be saying something that I know what it means, but you may not know what I'm talking about. And it's just about being comfortable and making everybody else comfortable around you in whatever environment that you're in.
What would be an example of slang?
Let me see. Turned up. First thing I could think of. I hear the kids all the time saying turned up. And I said, well, is the volume turned up? What's turned up? And I don't know what they're saying. And if I said that to you all, you'll be like, oh, turn up what? Turn the lights up?
Yeah.
So these are things that people make up, phrases people make up, words people make up amongst themselves, and they spread it around, I guess, to get it going. But if the whole Pittsburgh isn't in tune, or the whole world isn't in tune with these words, like there's words that they introduce into the dictionary, like tweet or whatever, or whatever if they introduce it into the dictionary, then it's okay to use. But things that I just make up because I feel like making up a word, I could keep that to myself.
It's turned up.
Getting drunk and partying and just being extravagant and being at the top of everything, I guess. I'm not familiar with the term, so my impression, the way it was used in sentences, that's what it would mean.
Turn up from class, that's what I know. Turn up from class.
Yeah, it's new.
Like you're lame.
Yeah, every generation comes up with something. I mean, my generation was probably the most awesome. We had the best terms, in my opinion. But every generation comes up with stuff, and kids go through things, and they, that's their way of expressing themselves, and that's okay. But as adults, we shouldn't be, saying the terms that we're hearing the kids saying. We got to be respectful and presentable when we're out and about. Specific acronym and youthful talk. I just said the same thing. Take turns when speaking. Don't hog the conversation. That's when we're all group talking or whatever. Take your, wait for your turn to speak. But if you are speaking in a group, like if we're all just conversating back and forth, don't sit there and talk the whole time. It's just rude. Let other people voice their opinion on things and how they feel. And then, like I said, way back, respect other people's opinions, because that's how they think, and it's okay for everyone to have their own opinions. That's us being a part of our culture and life. Is we're so diverse, and that's a good thing. We need input from someone else that's different from our own. Let's see. Nonverbal. Attend to posture. Eye contact, facial expressions, and personal space distance. That's important. Give the one about space. Give people their space. So important. Your space is your own. Usually they always talk about arm's distance is someone else's space. Don't get in there. Remember to smile. Not giving the speaker your full attention conveys that there is something more important than you, and it can be considered very rude. I cannot stand when I talk in front of someone and there's sad conversations going on, there's chaos. It's rude. It's really rude. If someone takes their time to stand in front of you, they obviously have something important they have to say, or whoever brought them to you thinks that they have something important that they have to say. It's just rude all the way around. Written, short, concise, error-free communication. So if I have something to write to you, just make it short, just a little note. Listening, stop talking. Show interest, ask questions, but don't interrupt. So if someone has something to say, don't just start blurting it out while I'm talking. Throw your hand up. You may not be in school, but it's respectable. Throw your finger up one time, drop it down. If I didn't see it drop, put it up again. And then I'll call on you, or the person who's speaking will call on you when they feel that it's time for the questions to be answered. Linda was talking about this, a flow. When I was talking about something else, she was like, well, you were in your flow and somebody interrupted you. Yeah, usually when people are speaking, they get into a flow. And they're trying to get their point across, and when somebody starts talking, it's like you're thrown off. And it's rude. And then whoever's listening can get thrown off. They be there to be picking up some valuable information, and distractions are not a good thing. Phone etiquette, telephone etiquette. We're on cell phones now, so let's talk about cell phone etiquette also. The telephone is used a lot in the selection process, including setting up interviews, phone interviews, and job offers. Make sure your telephone etiquette is top rate. Do not be loud. Don't be loud. Tone of voice is 70% of initial impression. Words spoken, 30%. Speak with a smile in your voice and on your face. Focus on the call, not on doing something else. So if an interviewer calls you, they do a lot of phone interviews now. Or even if they're doing a follow-up and your kids are right there, say, hey, can you give me a minute to go somewhere quiet, or do you think that you can call me back at time? To where you can give your full attention to them. They respect that. Do not eat or drink while on the phone. When talking on the phone with a potential employer or for the other business, do not put them on hold while you answer another phone call. Show them that you feel that they are important. If you say, hold on, they're like, oh, you're not taking me serious. This isn't your priority. Have a notepad and writing utensil nearby for taking notes. So you can